And let's get straight to our big story. This massive recycling fire in southeast Houston that continues to burn. The 3-alarm fire burned through a large debris field packed with tires and other materials, and crews say hotspots could continue smoldering well into today. Now we have live team coverage this morning from Houston's East End as the fire continues to burn.
Yeah, we're going to start with our Devon Roming live near the scene. Devon, what are firefighters dealing with right now?
Hey, good morning, guys. So things are still very much active out here near the fire. And while the major, massive flames that we saw yesterday are gone, there's still smoke that's billowing in the air as firefighters remain on scene here this morning, monitoring hot spots and working to fully extinguish what's left of this massive fire. Now, the 3-alarm blaze broke out around 3 o'clock Monday afternoon at the recycling facility near Kellogg in Manchester here at Houston's East End. Houston Fire Chief Thomas Munoz says the fire spread through a debris field about the size of a football field behind a warehouse. Tires were among the primary materials burning, creating thick black smoke that drifted across much of the city, with flames that reached an estimated 35 feet into the air.
Well, definitely putting out the fire, like I mentioned, this tire fires is a very difficult fire, but we do have, it's a 211, so we have more than 100 units right there.
Fire officials say crews spent hours fighting the stubborn fire while also working to keep it from spreading to nearby homes and businesses. Drones were also used to monitor conditions from above, and firefighters rotated in and out every 20 minutes because of the extreme heat and the working conditions. Thankfully, though, officials say no structures were damaged and no injuries have been reported. The cause of the fire, however, remains under investigation this morning, and HFD's arson division is working to determine how it started. That's the latest from the scene here. Meanwhile, I want to send it over to my colleague Ugochi Iloka. She joins us live now with how neighbors are responding. And Ugochi, what are you hearing from neighbors there?
Yeah, well, Devon, neighbors say their biggest concern is the smoke, especially because there is so much humidity this morning that could potentially force the smoke to move closer to the ground. I want you to take a look at your screen. This is video from Air 11, chopper video that shows huge stacks of smoke blowing from the fire. A big issue from neighbors in the surrounding areas is also how long the fire has been burning, which has been about 12 hours now. The plume of smoke could be seen for miles for one neighborhood, especially yesterday, and it's hitting really close to home with flames being seen from the backyard. The tree line is the only thing separating this neighborhood from the massive recycling plant fire. Residents have already made preparations to evacuate if it comes to that.
When it gets dark, even if they haven't come asking me to evacuate, I'm going to evacuate anyway, because once it gets real dark, you know, it's kind of hard to get your bearings and get it out of here.
We're already packed and ready to go in case we do have to leave.
Yeah, very, very scary there, but so glad neighbors are ready to move if they need to. Coming up in the next hour, we'll hear from more neighbors who live near the fire.